Good evening, everybody. This is Trisha, and thank you for joining us this evening. Doro is not on the call tonight, so I will be leading the meditation, and very happy everybody's here with us tonight. Tonight, our meditation will focus on how to use our breath when stress and tension arise in our day-to-day lives. John Kabat-Zinn, who many of you know has worked with Doro and I in the past and is one of our greatest teachers, has said and has taught us that, stress does not really exist. It's something we kind of, he doesn't say make up, but something that's not the same for everybody. I am going to stop and see if everyone can mute their phones. Thank you. Thanks. So again, welcome. And as I was saying, we're going to talk tonight about stress and tension and how it is a part of our day-to-day lives. But is there a way that we can manage it? And I was saying that John Kabat-Zinn, who many of you have studied and have seen at our conference and have listened to him on our podcast, has shared with us that he says that stress doesn't really exist. And if you think about it, it's just our reactions to certain situations. So as each of us are individuals, each of us have a different way to handle situations. So what might trigger one of us might not trigger the other. So this idea of identifying what causes us to become stressed and allowing ourselves to create a space is what we're going to explore tonight. And we're going to do that by looking and experiencing what breath can do and how it can sort of create this space between what I see, what causes me to be stressed out, and how can we incorporate breath in between those moments to have a step back, breathe, and either reduce the stress or have no stress. Often when there's something that we don't want, right, we might fight against it. And the more we do that, the more we create tension around it. So tonight, what we're going to say is this. We're going to say that breath is going to be our tool. We're going to use that tonight, and we're going to use it this week to see how we can soften those moments that we are as individuals see as our stressful situation, using one breath at a time. So we'll begin. Hopefully everybody is in a quiet place right now. You can choose to sit and allow yourself to be sitting straight up so you can breathe fully and deeply. But make sure that you're comfortable. You can close your eyes and place your hands in your lap. If you like to lie down, we invite you to do that as well. We will begin tonight's meditation as we do with every meditation on Sunday evenings with the chime, and we'll end it with the chime. Let's start by just dropping into our bodies for a moment. I always like to invite people to soften their jaws, breathe into their shoulders, and into their belly, and any other parts of the body that might be gripping or holding on too tight right now. So begin to breathe deeply. We can't force any part of the body to relax, but what we can do is to invite parts of our body to soften by taking deep breaths in and exhaling. Perhaps right now, we'll do a body scan from the top of our head down to our feet. And as we go through this, just sort of begin to feel if there's any tension or stress in any particular body part or any region of the body. So let's begin with the top of our heads. And breathe in and breathe out. Now to our forehead and to the back of our eyes. To our ears. Breathing in and breathing out and checking in with our body parts, our nose. Doing all kinds of work for us this evening. And then in our jaws. Loosen up our jaws, take some breaths. Our throats, shoulders, maybe shake them a little bit, sit up a little bit, see how they feel to get the tension out of our shoulders. Our chest. Feel our bellies rising and exhale. Hips, thighs, our knees, shins, ankles, and our feet. If you notice that maybe there's some tightness when we went through that, feel free now to kind of go back. Breathe into to the part of your body that feels some tension, maybe some stress. And what's often very helpful is just to imagine yourself possibly laying in a soft, warm blanket, cool air, and just imagine that all is well and you are being very taken care of. So breathe in with that right now. So again, we're not trying to force stress out of our body, but we're meeting it with kindness and giving it space and ease. Now that we've settled a bit, go back to your breath. Feel it as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And if you can, put your hand on your belly. And again, feel the air coming in and feel the belly deflate as the air goes out. Do that a couple of times. You may notice right now the tendency of the mind to wander off, maybe to start thinking about what happened today or what the dog might have done or what you have to do next week or tomorrow, Monday morning. We call them Sunday scaries. But what I'm going to ask you to do right now is to just breathe through that. Say to yourself, I'm here right now. I'm here. I feel my belly rising up and down. I feel my shoulders kind of like really relaxed. And just simply invite yourself to come on back to this breath and to this moment. Go ahead back in. Is it the top of your head, behind your eyes? How's your jaw doing? Just kind of go through your body and breathe. Often when we're stressed, we feel kind of like a leaf blowing in the wind or a flag blowing in the wind, right? So what happens now when that happens to you during the day or in a situation, again, take this breath and say, okay, I need to stabilize and anchor myself. So imagine now you're blowing in the wind as a flag, but move on over to the flagpole. Feel how strong and how grounded the flagpole is in the earth, how it doesn't move with the wind, but it's there, solid and connected to the earth. Imagine that's you and imagine that's your body. So take your breath, bring it from the flag in the wind to the flagpole and say, okay, I'm stabilized. I'm here now. So when we get caught in that heightened state of reactivity, anxiety, and all that kind of crazy feeling in our guts when we're feeling stressed, let's think about what it means to soften around it. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Don't judge yourself for it. Just take a breath, a deep breath, and imagine creating space around that. And then let this intention of space settle in using your breath. So take about 5 deep breaths for me right now. The power of the breath is so amazingly underestimated, but when we focus on the breath, we see that one of its byproducts is this ability to, again, create space and hopefully allow us not to react so quickly to something that in the past has caused us to get so anxious and so stressed. So the breath is with us all the time. It is always, always with us. Sometimes we just forget that we're breathing. So this breath is a tool that's sort of built in that we're asking you tonight to use this week to see and experiment how this can help you and all of us in dealing with what we now perceive as stressful situations. So go back to where we began this meditation, to a body scan. Go to the top of your head, and this time we'll do it in silence. And just with every body part, just breathe in and breathe out for the next few minutes. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel your belly expand. Feel it deflate. And now, in the final few moments together, can you reflect on one good thing in your life right now? Right now. Reflect on it right now. A person, a thing, an aspect of yourself that despite what it is, that you're being in a stressful situation, there's still a reflection of what might be good. So just to take a moment now and do that. Think of the things that sort of, when you think of it, it just brings you joy. And kind of pay attention where you feel that in your body too, as you breathe through that and imagine this joyful experience permeating throughout your body. And it's there, it's that feeling that you're feeling right now, combined with your breath, is a way that you can walk through life the way that we can walk through life without stress. It's taking this moment seeing the situation, taking a breath, becoming a flagpole, and maybe thinking of something great right in that moment, right when you're just about ready to really stress out. And experiment with that this week and see how it does. And we would love to hear back from you on how that works for you this week. Take a few more breaths and we will end tonight's meditation. I will read a poem that we think is really quite moving by John O'Donohue. It's called For One Who is Exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in your stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every single bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are so unsure on the ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You've been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken in the race of the days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness takes over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you have rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. And while you're doing that, take your breath. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fosters the brightness of day. And breathe. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. And breathe. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time. Thank you, everybody, for joining tonight, and have a lovely week.